Well, I've done a bit since the last update on the Celica. Let's start up front here. We'll go down below. I have a need for a light. Installed the Moroso Oil Pan. You can get a peep right there of the Brooks Racing Division, or BRD, or Brooks Racing Development. I'm not sure which it is. BRD. And there you can get a quick peek of the Brooks polyurethane mounts. So, starting down below, we've got a Moroso oil pan installed and the BRD full polyurethane mount up front there. I have the rear one also in place. So you're trying to get light, and there's a bit of a challenge. This is paired with Cusco sway bars that I had powder coated white and more BRD polyurethane sway bar bushings. They're uprated for the Cusco sway bars, which are 2 millimeters larger than both, and then stock in both the front and the rear. And we go ahead and come back to the back here, and I've got more bushings, another brand new white sway bar. I actually have the back pretty much all put back together except for the brakes and the gas tank. You have the exhaust hanging over there for the time being. And that is another thing I don't believe I have covered yet. That is pretty much a straight pipe TRD tip exhaust. So that'll be pretty cool. Should be louder than it's not. But things are moving along. I still need a lot of work to do on the interior. But one thing at a time here. One thing at a time. Yeah. The hard brake lines are installed. The alternator with the pulleys. New alternator, water pump, and alternator pulleys from Monkey Wrench Racing. TRD thermostat. So, yeah, let's go. I'm just trying to slowly plug away here at getting all this stuff taken care of. The Brooks Racing mounts, you have to do some modifications to your old motor mounts. You have to pull the rubber out of both of them. And then pound out this solid metal ring in the middle that supports the rubber for the front housing. And then on the rear housing, or on the, this is for the rear housing, I'm sorry. Rear housing has this. It's easier if you cut the middle out, because then you have more room to pound on this and beat that out of the center of that so that you've got more than enough room to fit their poly mount in. And on the front, you have to file down some nubs on it. I ended up coming back in black zinc coating all of this hardware and the motor mounts themselves, so they should be fresh and ready to rock. But I'm hoping to have my exhaust figured out by next summer so that I could actually maybe drive this around a little bit while I build the next 2ZZ.
Oh, what is up, people? It's been a long time since I have updated the channel. It's been a long time since I've done any filming with anything for the car. Mostly because I've been kind of stagnant while I had to save up money for parts and, well, you know, life happens and things like that. But I finally have car parts to install worth showing you. As I just showed you there, I've got this sweet bag of titanium exhaust studs, which should be a little hint as to what we might be doing. It's black, it doesn't show up down there. This is the R9K 4-to-1 exhaust header. Long tube race header. It should be loud, annoying, and it should make some power. I'm really excited to get this installed. This is probably got to be one of my favorite things I'm going to be putting on this car. Yeah, so I've got that. I've got studs, and I also got this sweet catless mid pipe. It's got this MagnaFlow ultra quiet resonator on there because I don't have a cat, because the exhaust has no muffler section in it. I just have a TRD tipped straight pipe down here that you can't see because it's too dark. Let me grab a flashlight here. Yeah, here. Okay. So now we can go back under here. So there is a TRD exhaust tip that just comes straight back to the flange. So that resonator is really all we've got between us and the straight pipe, all the way from that long ass header. So I've had to wait for these studs to come in. It's the last thing I've been waiting for. Now that these are here, I can actually get the header mounted, and then I can worry about actually getting the mid pipe in. So I want to go ahead and get myself set up down there to start working on getting these put in so that I can start trying to finagle that header. I think I can get it between the subframe and the body. I think. I kind of tried to test fit it once, but I didn't want to shove it all the way up in there because I wasn't going to have a way to keep it mounted up in there. So yeah, we will go from there. I also got these 90-degree O2 sensor spacers. I got a couple of them just in case I need them. I'm not sure how the OEM ECU is going to react to this, but we'll see for shits and giggles. Be back in a sec. The answer to the subframe question is no. You will have to loosen the bolts. 2 main bolts on this side. There's one on this corner and there's one on the far corner I've already loosened. And then you'll probably have to loosen up those motor mount bolts so that it'll kind of fall down just a little bit and give us some space to work here. People, we're working on it here. It's in. I had to do more than a few bolts, but once we got the subframe dropped a little bit, she's, God, it's in there. Terrible lighting, I don't even care. I'm so excited. Ah! It's in, boys. I just need to finish up back at that flange right there, but honestly, it's just been giving me so much trouble. Charles and I are just like, fuck it for the night. We got the header in. We got the mid pipe in. I had to lower the subframe, pull the engine / trans mount out. Yeah, it was an exciting bit of work here. Energy suspension bushings. Yeah, so had to drop the suspension off too just a little bit to get a little more droop out of things. Yeah, this was an endeavor, to say the least. This was not the R9K PPE header install is not for the faint of heart. Let me tell you that right now. Sorry about the weird angles. I don't have any good ways of getting in there, really. It's a really hard piece to see once it's installed. But yeah, here we are. That was the last major number I had. Well, I still got to do the brakes. Here we go. There she be, boys and girls. There she be. I almost forgot. I also had to not undo the center mount on this. I left the motor mount in place, but I dropped the 2 bolts off that center cross beam support. So that way the whole engine can move kind of forward and back while you finagle that header up in there, because it's a tight fit with the subframe and sway bar in. It is not an easy fit at all. So yeah, but I mean, it's definitely doable with the engine in the car. You just have to definitely, I mean, it's took us, we've been at this for probably 6 hours. Yeah, it's probably 6 hours figuring out how to get it up in there, between having to lower the subframe, get it back, get the header in, the subframe pushed back up in. I basically had it just hanging by that front motor mount and the 2 side mounts, because that's really the best option you've got for getting this in there. Yeah, I'm really stoked to. I still need to get a fresh oil change in the car. I need to get coolant in the car. I need to get brakes done on the car. I need to get brake fluid in the car. I need to get all those systems bled. I'm going to probably do a spill and fill on the power steering fluid, because it's looking pretty gnarly. Here's my cabin air filter. You can tell that's been in there the whole freaking time this car's been alive. So that needs to get swapped. And, you know, the interior is still mostly torn apart. So, yeah. no, this has been fun. I'm glad to be working on this car again. I'm glad to finally be back in doing car stuff. It feels good to film again. It feels good to have some more things done. I got the signal wire for the headlight leveling switch done the other day. I need to run these 2 ground and 2 powers for the power and illumination on it. And then that will be done for the OEM HIDs, which I still need to get the fresh ballasts into. It's a whole tear down, take apart. It's kind of a pain, but I need to get that done. I need to fix up this front bumper. It's definitely got some problems, but you know, all in good time. All in good time. I thought I'd given up too, but we're in, baby. We're all in. Sadly, no startup tonight. I still need to get oil and coolant, and it has just a little bit of a rub right there on the heat shield. Luckily, I've got some space up there. I think I might be able to bend it a little bit and get some clearance, because it's just touching right there a little bit. And I'm sure my heat shield's probably not straight or correct, so I'm gonna go ahead and see about maybe bending that up a little bit and getting it straightened out the way it should be. So otherwise, I'm pretty freaking stoked, to say the least. This is a long, arduous task. I've waited about 3 years for this now. So yeah, pretty freaking stoked, to say the least. Ever since I brought this car home with no exhaust, I mean, it was literally cut like right about here. It was just cut and dumped. So yeah, no more of that. I will need to get the exhaust tip extended out a little bit though, because right now it's not all the way out. But you know what? That's alright, because that's easy. I just take that to an exhaust shop, or maybe even just have a homie come over with a welder, and we'll just scoot that out a little bit so you can see it. Really let it sing. That, and I don't want it melting my TRD exhaust with, or my TRD manifold with fireballs. I like to avoid that, because I'm pretty sure it's gonna shoot them.